Have you ever crossed the line between life and death? A moment when your soul clearly felt that something was trying to end you. A sudden accident, an illness that dragged you down into the abyss. A depression that weighed heavily on your mind, making every breath a burden. A dark memory from childhood where your spirit was attacked without anyone knowing. And yet in a strange way, you were still alive. You were still here, breathing, listening. Not because you ran away. Not because things had calmed down, but because a divine force had laid its hands on you and held you. Your death was scheduled. In the invisible world, a plan was set to take you away from the path of light. Everything was arranged, targeted precisely for you. The timing, the circumstances, the emotions. You were the target. You were the one being watched. You are the one who is surrounded by forces that want to extinguish the light you didn't even know you carried. But God stepped in. He didn't delay. He didn't hesitate. He interrupted the whole plan. He stopped the hand of destruction. He said, "This one has a purpose." And from that moment on, every attempt by darkness failed. You were not taken away. You were not erased from the map. You were retained to accomplish something far greater than you could ever understand your life to be. Your survival is evidence of power. It is evidence of divine intervention. It is the purpose of God that covers your life like an eternal shield. Every incident, every battle, every time you thought you were going to fall, it was all part of your calling. You were born with the sacred mark of the letter M and the crescent moon imprinted on the palm of your hand. You carry a light like no other. And that is why the attacks come so early, so strong, so often. The greater the light, the greater the resistance. The enemy has already plotted the end. The trap has been set, the timing has been set, but God has also planned something else. He has rewritten the ending. What was supposed to end you has failed, and the reason goes beyond you, because you did not survive for yourself. You survived because you were sent. You were kept to heal, you were kept to lead. You survived for legacy, for mission, for destiny. This video is a sign from heaven, a confirmation that you did not just survive. You survived what was supposed to end you. And that is the first sign. You are the chosen one. You are a living testament to God's intervention. And from this moment on, you will know why you are still here. This message is your time to wake up. Believe in yourself. Understand the divine reason behind your existence. The chosen ones survived, they rose, they led, they awakened others. And now it is your time to speak up. If your spirit feels this, let the divine number guide you. 777 for spiritual completion. 444 for angelic protection, 333 for spiritual connection, 999 for closing an old cycle and opening a new season. Each comment is a statement, and that statement is activating a wave of light. I am speaking directly to your soul. You are marked. You are drawn through the fire. You are standing here for a divine purpose. And what we are about to discover is the truth that lies behind your pain and the reason you've been held together to carry out an irreplaceable mission. Let us go deeper, for this is the beginning of sacred remembrance. You have carried the sacred mark of the letter M and the crescent moon in the palm of your hand since birth. The spirit world knows. The light within you has sent a signal so strong that both the heavens and the darkness have taken note. You are the chosen one. Your soul holds the energy of a greater purpose. And because of that, things around you have never been normal. The battles began very early. While others were playing and growing up in safety, you had to learn to face pain, loss, and hurt that you were too young to understand. Your childhood left deep marks on your soul. As you grow older, the challenges never stop. Each chapter of your life is a training ground. Each year is a confirmation that you are not living for a small reason. You may have experienced the feeling of being crushed by life. But in every moment that seems weak, there is one thing that is always present. You are still here. Your breath is still there. Your heart is still beating. Your spirit is not extinguished. And it is not by your own efforts, nor by chance. It is a heavenly preservation. It is an intervention from God. He has laid his hand on you, not just once, but throughout your journey. He has stood between you and destruction. When you are pushed into the darkest depths, there is a light that pulls you back. When your mind is weary, there is an inner strength that lifts you up. When everything seems to be falling apart, Life still creeps into you like a small flame that never goes out. That is the proof. Needless to say, your very survival is the strongest statement. You are a person kept for a sacred purpose. God does not waste preservation. Every time He intervenes, He is protecting your body, your voice, and your future. You, the chosen one, are held to awaken others. In every pain you have experienced, there is a soul out there who needs healing from your story. In every tear you have shed, there is someone who will find hope. And in every time you are held, there is a generation waiting to be led. Your life bears the evidence of heaven. No one can take away what you've overcome. Nothing can erase the light you hold. When God has entered your life, everything has meaning. And from today, when you look back on your life, realize every survival is not the end. It is the beginning of a mission, the beginning of a role, the beginning of rising to be who you are, the chosen one. The chosen one is not a trend. It is not something you add to your resume to feel special. It is not a title you give yourself to seek attention. The chosen one is a sacred truth that was written in your soul before you knew who you were. When you were in your mother's womb, God's hand touched you. Before you even cried out for the first time, your life plan was written in a stream of light from above. And that plan began with a clear call. This one is my chosen one. From that moment on, you are no longer destined for an easy life. Your life does not follow a smooth path. Every challenge, every pain, every battle comes not by chance, but because you have a mission. And that mission always requires people who are strong in spirit, deep in emotion, sensitive to the truth. Being the chosen one means that your inner calling is louder than the outer voice. When others sleep, your spirit is restless. When others seek to fit in, you find yourself different. When others seek comfort, you are pushed into transformation. Because the path you take is not the common path. You carry a flame, and that flame never goes out. Even when you fall, even when you are exhausted, even when you don't understand why life is so cruel to you, that flame still burns, softly, but it does not disappear, because the light within you is not just a light for yourself. It is a light to guide you. When you enter a room, the energy changes. No words are needed. Your presence shakes the atmosphere. You carry a higher, wider, clearer frequency. You don't do it on purpose. You do it because you are it. The chosen don't just live. They awaken. They change. They break the chains of the mind, the chains of hurt, the chains that have bound entire families for generations. You come to end. You come to close the old cycle. You come to open the door for others to follow. You were not chosen to stand behind. You were chosen to step forward. You did not come to be a background. You came to make real change, not by outside power, but by the power that comes from a place where no human can reach, where God first laid His hands on you. And this is when your spirit remembers, I am not like the rest. I carry something of the divine kingdom. I am the chosen one. That name is a summons. It is an invitation to step into your true role. It is the reason you are still alive, still listening, still breathing, because someone is waiting for your light to see their own path. And you are the key to open that door. When you were too young to understand what fate was, the attacks began. They didn't wait for you to grow up. They didn't wait for you to be strong enough. They came fast, they came early, they came in droves. You weren't prepared, but you faced them. While others were playing, you were hurt. While others were loved, you learned to be silent. You may not have a name for what happened, but your soul remembers. Every broken sleep, every abandonment, every nightmare from real life. All of it left its mark, invisible reminders that your life was different from the rest. You were not weak. You were so valued that the enemy had to strike first. Because in the spiritual world, the light you carried was seen long before. Even before you realized what was growing inside you, the forces of darkness saw it. And they acted. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the target of an invisible war. A battle that is fought not because you have done something wrong, but because you carry something that will shatter what has been there for too long. Attacks are not a sign that you have been abandoned. They are a sign that you have been appointed to a greater purpose. Those who are destined to be great are tested by fire. And what you go through is fire. To refine the soul, to sharpen the heart, to awaken intuition. Each time you are wounded, a new layer of consciousness is opened. Each time you overcome, a stronger layer of light is born within you. Each blow to your life, instead of destroying you, makes clear the calling that awaits you to step into. The enemy does not waste energy on what does not threaten. And you carry within you something that can shake the darkness. A word from you can open a door for another. A prayer from you can move the air. Your presence can shake old chains. You were born to break what silenced others. You were called to rise when many others fell. Not because you were better, but because you were chosen to carry a heavier burden. Every past pain was part of the blueprint. Every time you thought you were finished, it was a divine beginning. Early attacks did not weaken you. They made you a living testament to God's protection. And right now, you can look back on it all and say clearly, I was chosen, and every pain is proof. You have been very close to death, closer than you ever thought. Maybe it was an accident that happened just seconds before you. Maybe it was a sudden illness that the doctors could not explain. Maybe it was a fleeting thought, but so dark, so heavy, that you thought you could not go on. You did not fall at those times, not because you were strong, but because there was a hand that held you. The hand of God. God does not need to come down from the sky to prove his presence. He does not need a loud voice, no spectacular miracle to get people's attention. He is quiet, but always there. He enters the moments when your soul has nothing left to hold on to. He enters when you think you have reached the end. Sometimes his presence is a friend calling at the right time. It is a premonition that makes you stop for a moment. It is a warning dream. It is a sudden rainstorm that makes you miss a bus. It was a delay that annoyed you, but then you realized the delay saved you. God had placed an invisible fence around you, even if you were not aware of it. He had placed his angel in your path. Every time death approached, every time the darkness seemed to prevail, his hand appeared, pulling you back from the brink. Not once did it delay. Your survival is the most powerful testimony to God's power. You are alive. Not because you were lucky. You are alive because someone spoke for you when you could not speak. Someone commanded the darkness to retreat. Someone said, "You cannot touch this man. He has a purpose." God has not lost you, because the light you carry has more work to do. Because there are other souls who will be healed only when they hear your story. Because you are a living testimony of the protection that comes from heaven. From this day forward, understand clearly, every time you breathe, God has fought for you. He has not let death prevail. He has not let the final word of destruction be spoken. He has chosen you, and when he has chosen you, no one can snatch you from him. That protection continues, silently, surely, eternally. And you yourself, by your very existence, are bearing witness to the world. God is still at work. You were not trained in quiet places. Your soul did not grow in praise or safety. What you have gone through is a training plan drawn up for you, the chosen one. From a very early age, you have known loneliness that others have never experienced. The years you endured in silence, the nights you collapsed without words enough to say, the wounds you kept deep inside, all were part of the divine process. God did not leave you in the darkness. He led you through it. God knows who can carry the mission, who can stand in the battle and still keep the light inside. So he chose you, and he let you go through the fire to shine. Betrayal, abandonment, heavy losses, all were the classroom of your soul. You were molded not to survive as a victim, but to rise as a beacon. Every season of isolation you've ever experienced, every deep pain you've never shared with anyone, it's a spiritual treasure you carry. God used that pain to teach you what no book, no sermon, no one else could. You learn to believe when you can't see. You learn to love when you're hated. You learn to stand up when the world expects you to fall. Now the light you carry doesn't come from temporary joy. It comes from the depths. It comes from the abyss you've fallen into and survived. No one can take that light away from you. It's a part of you, forged from blood, tears, and faith. It's because you've walked through that pain that you have the power to heal others. And it's because you weren't spared from the fire that you're empowered to emerge from it with the light. Suffering doesn't weaken you. It shaped you into the leader the world needs. And there you are, with a sacred journey written in the pain you once hid. Every scar you bear is a revelation, Not everyone understands the sacredness of healed wounds, but you do. You feel the energy that remains there. It is more than a mark. It is a reminder from heaven. Your scars are living testimony to a battle you have won. You have fallen into the depths. You have been crushed. You have gone through hours when your breath seemed to be taken away. But you are still here, strong, alert, carrying within you the light that has been forged from the ashes. Every time you look back on what you have been through, consider it the first chapter of a mission that is still being written. God has seen every cut, every pain, every sleepless night. Nothing has been overlooked. And today, the scars you bear are a powerful testimony to the power that surrounds you. No mission is born in peace. Those who are called to lead the way have been marked by battle. Others may see you smile, hear you speak, but only you can feel the true weight of what you have lived. And that is why your story is invaluable. It not only helps others understand, but it also helps them step out of their own darkness. When you tell your journey, you are shining a light on those still wandering in the darkness. When you share your resurrection, you are placing a warm hand on the shoulder of a cold soul. And when you stand up, scarred but still moving forward, you are spreading a message of life. The light still wins. Look at yourself now. Stand in front of a mirror. Look into eyes that have cried, that have been lost, that have been afraid. And then look at you today, full, whole, with a heart that knows how to empathize. Every scar tells your story, a story no one else can tell, a story that someone out there needs to hear. Your wounds carry the power to heal. Every chapter of your past contains the spiritual DNA code to set others free. No chapter is redundant, no scar is meaningless. Every pain you've overcome is a code planted in you by God to open a door that no one else has ever opened. And now, you are being called to live that story fully. Let your scars become a torch. Let your pain become a song. Let you, the broken you, become the one who brings wholeness to the world. This is your time. This is your power manifesting. And you are living proof that no life is without purpose. You are the proof. You are the answer. And you are beginning to shine a light on those souls who are still searching for their way home. You have survived. You have overcome a challenge. You have crossed the threshold between life and death, and you were not saved by chance. A hand has held you. A force greater than reason has surrounded you when everything seemed to collapse. And the moment you took another breath, a mission was bestowed upon your soul. You are no longer a person running from the past. You have entered a new phase. From now on, your survival becomes a consecration. Every heartbeat you carry is not just for survival, but for movement. Every waking moment carries within it a summons to stand up, to act, and to be a light for others. There is an undeniable truth. You have been saved. And when a soul is saved, it carries the fire to save others. What you have learned, what you have experienced, all are crystallizing into a guiding energy. No one else can tell that story like you. No one else can touch the darkness of others like someone who has walked it. You are the witness, and you are the guide. Gratitude is growing inside you. But gratitude is not the end. Gratitude is the beginning of action. Your action can be a whisper, a hug, a look that touches the pain that is hidden. Every step you take now is no longer simple. It carries the echo of a life and death battle. And because of that, it carries the weight of power. God does not hold you back to stand still. He gives you the role of one sent, one who is alive to raise, one who is spared to set free, one who is healed to heal the next generation. You are not just living, you are walking with the responsibility of one who is called. Every action you take now is eternal, and as you move forward, all of heaven is with you, for you have stepped into your true role, a survivor with a sacred mission. There are moments at the very edge of life where everything is so quiet that even the beating of your heart sounds like thunder. You have been there. Your body lies still, but your spirit is more alert than ever. There is no noise, no words, just a strange feeling, as if the whole world is watching your last breath. A near-death experience is a profound spiritual journey. Not everyone goes to that edge and comes back, but you did, and that marks a sacred turning point in your soul. In that moment, time no longer matters. You sense a world beyond the physical. Everything becomes clear. All lies, all pretense fall away, leaving only one thing, a call from the deepest place, echoing like light through your mind, clear, strong, and loving. That call does not come in human language. It does not need words. It permeates you in silence. You are not just resurrected, you are awakened. You are reborn as a bearer of light, a bearer of a heavenly mission. Each person who has touched that edge carries a special frequency. They carry the eyes of one who has seen the truth. They do not live in haste. They do not speak in vain. They are present as if every moment is a gift. They inspire not with words, but with their presence, with the truth they carry. You belong to that group. You are held for a reason, because your life has a message. Every scar, every memory, every time you have overcome death is a piece of the larger picture that is slowly being revealed. You are the bearer of the map for those who are still groping in the dark. Your survival is a declaration from above. You have been drawn back by the hand of God, not to continue as before, but to begin something completely new. You have been chosen to be living proof that miracles are real, that the soul can hear the call, and that the mission is still there, waiting for you to step into it. An old chapter has closed, with a quiet vibration deep within your soul. Something has ended, no longer lasting, no longer delayed. You are entering the most powerful moment of transition in your life. Every experience, every fall, every time you looked up at the sky and silently asked why, has led to this moment. The moment your soul realizes it is time to live as the chosen one. The new you has awakened. It has the bright eyes of understanding. It has the steady voice of one who has walked through fire and stood firm. It has an aura that cannot be bought or given by man. It can only be molded by the hand of God. You live to manifest the glory that was planted in you before you were born. You live to be the light that cannot be hidden, the torch that guides those who struggle in the darkness. You live to fulfill the sacred covenant written in the Spirit. You are my chosen one. You will go. You will heal. You will restore what was lost. All doors are open. No force can close them when God says, now is the time. The gates to the sacred dimension are opening wide. Where those with the mark on their hands, the calling in their hearts, the light in their eyes, are rising together. This transition is not just a moment. It is a rebirth. Every cell in you is remembering the sacred place you were born into. No one gave it to you. It has always been there. And today, you enter. Without hesitation, without doubt, with your whole being, with deep gratitude, with a light that cannot be extinguished, because this is your moment. This is the rebirth of the chosen one. This is when you take your name into the world and make it tremble with your very presence. You have been protected by a light that has surrounded your life since the day you were born. No one can see it with the naked eye. No one can measure it by earthly standards, but it has always been there, like an invisible cloak, like a barrier between you and the darkness. That protection is not given to everyone. It is present only around those who bear the mark, those souls who have been chosen to accomplish something greater than the world can yet understand. You have been saved many times. You have been held in your most fragile moments, not by physical ability, but by the intervention of a higher hand. At times when everything seemed to be falling apart, an invisible force pulled you back up, turned the situation around, and delivered you from the blade of fate. Each survival was not a temporary miracle. It was a reminder that you were living under the direct protection of heaven. But that sacred light must be maintained. Protection does not come from passivity. Protection comes from faithfulness. When you keep your heart clean, your spirit clear, your actions straight before God, you are holding on to the safe space that heaven has opened for you. Spiritual discipline is the language of the elect. When you take time to be still, when you turn to the living word, when you say yes to the path God leads you, you enter a frequency that cannot be broken. That connection is like a cord of light connecting you to heaven. The clearer, the stronger, the more complete the protection. If you have ever felt a flutter in your heart when you hear these words, it is a call to return to the spiritual foundation that has been planted within you, to the light that has sustained you all these years, to the place where you are meant to be, where all the power, all the blessings, all the protections are waiting for you to stand. There is nothing more precious than the bond between you and the one who chose you. And when you stand firm in it, you become unshakable. You are breathing. You are present. Your heart beats to a rhythm that heaven has tuned. Every second you are alive is a declaration from God. This man is still on duty. No one survives a storm without a deep calling. You have weathered raging waves. You have walked through cold days of solitude. You have heard the call from the deep and have continued. God has not let you fade away. He has put his hand on your shoulder and said, "You are still here, because you must be here." You carry within you a light that darkness is wary of. You carry a strength that is not easily shaken. When your body is weary, your spirit continues to move forward. When your words are silent, your heart still whispers prayers. And when all seems silent, your existence still rings like a sacred bell in the air. God does not choose the perfect. He chooses the ready. And you survived. That means you were ready. Every scar on your soul is a stamp of approval. Every unfulfilled dream is a seed waiting to be watered by faith. You are living proof of a plan bigger than yourself. You did not just stay, you were held. Held to heal, held to pave the way, held to rise as a living symbol of love, of light, of resurrection. Look back over the years, and you will see the hand of God lifting you up each time. Look forward, and you will see the door opening for a true light bearer. Walk as one who has been rescued. Act as one who has been sent from heaven. There is no need to prove anything. Your survival is the most eloquent statement. You survived because you were chosen. You are still here because you are meant to be. Your survival is proof of an unstoppable divine plan.